Let's get you over to the press room so you can hear Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault's takeaways on tonight's win.
Mark, what you like best about the first half in particular and the run heading into halftime? It just seemed like the rhythm and tempo you were playing with was hard to stop.
Yeah, great tone early in the game to build an early lead, and then we were a little muddy in the second quarter, start the second, and then we closed the quarter really well. Both ends of the floor, great precision on offense, and then really made them earn everything on defense, and it built us a nice lead.
It seemed like you kind of had blinders on to potential distractions and things throughout the course of the game. What's continuing to drive that for the entire team? Because it seemed like everybody's locked in.
Yeah, I thought we had good mental toughness tonight. It's hard to play with leads. It's hard not to get distracted by the score. And I thought the group to start the third quarter came out and through the first punch, they did a great job, and that energy continued through the third. And then the group in the fourth quarter did a great job of just kind of playing the next possession. That's how you build habits. You can take steps backwards in a game like that. Even though you may end up winning the game because you had a lead, you don't want to have slippage with your habits. And I thought we didn't do that tonight.
How much did Kaysen have to do with this? I mean, I was joking with somebody. He and Dyson Daniels seem to go back and forth, leading the league in steals, and he gets one like in the first 10 seconds, and then he hits a three, then gets a deflection off Mark Williams and leads to another bucket. And just seemed like he had kind of got your defense going that was really good, especially in that first quarter.
Yeah, he's often guarding the guy that's bringing the ball up. And so he's the first guy that has an opportunity to set a tone on the possession on many occasions, and he does a great job of that, obviously. And I thought collectively we did a good job on Gillespie tonight. Gillespie's played unbelievable, in the last stretch of games for them. He's had a great season, and has forced teams to put him towards the top of the scouting report, especially with Booker out. And I thought Kaysen did a great job early in the game on him, and I thought collectively we did a good job on him tonight.
Also got a little chippy there at the end. You guys are cruising, beating people. You were, well, maybe word's not the right word, but maybe teams can kind of get a little physical with you to kind of take you out of your rhythm or something like that.
I mean, we can't control that, but I thought the refs handled the situation tonight well. And those things can get a little squirrely from time to time if the refs don't handle it with a firm hand, and I thought they handled it appropriately tonight.
Chet had a quick pull-up over Gillespie early in the game, had a nice floater over Royce O'Neal as well. Just seems like he was really capitalizing whenever he got the smaller guy on. Just what did you see out of him tonight in terms of his decision-making?
Yeah, I thought he was really good tonight. He had a good inside-out blend, hit the threes early. They put guards on him. They had O'Neal on him much of the game after he hit the early shots, and then he got some rolling. He got some stuff around the basket, a couple post-ups, offensive rebounds. So I thought he showed the whole spectrum of things that he's capable of offensively tonight, and he was great defensively as well. So I thought he played a really complete game in his minutes.
Yeah, Coach. 16-game win streaks don't happen by accident. What's, I guess, one important thread that you've noticed through this entire win streak?
Not focusing on the win streak. You just got to play the next possession, get better the next day, win the next quarter, and compete in the next game. And then if you do that and you're present in that process, sometimes you look up and you win a certain amount of games in a row. But we certainly need to understand we still have a lot of improvement to make. We have a lot of things to sustain, and a lot of competitive challenges ahead. There's a lot of season ahead of us, but the guys have done a great job of just staying very present in the season so far and competing in the moment, and it's put us in a nice position.
And then how would you describe the identity of this team right now? Has it changed any from last year?
No, it's same deal. I think we've tried to touch up some edges and sharpen some things and, help individual guys improve, but we want to be a team that competes together, and that's been the case from when we were first starting out till now. And when we do that, we give ourselves a great chance to win the game. And the guys, like I said, have been really committed to that and have done a great job.
You guys are off to the best start in NBA history, have the best point differential by a lot. What improvement?
Well, a lot of it is just, first of all, it's never a perfect game. Individual players improving. Nobody's a finished product. A lot of guys are early in they're like early prime players or pre-prime players. And so a lot of it's that. And then you're only as good as you are in the next challenge. Like, all that's great, but none of it matters Saturday. We can't take any of it and carry it into that game. It's 0-0 when we start that game, and we have to do those things. Again, none of it, like I said, you have habits that you build, but none of it carries over. And so that's a competitive challenge. It takes mental toughness and discipline and commitment to do that. These guys have exhibited that over a long period of time, but we have a lot of season left. And so that's our challenge moving forward.
And you
always so present in the moment of competition is this Thunder team. And one of the biggest refrains we've heard from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault since he has started here in Oklahoma City is be where your feet are. And you heard him when he talks about a 16-game win streak. The common theme is they're not focusing on a win streak, and that's what's allowed them to be so successful.
But it's not like they're putting their fingers in their ears and going, la, 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 we're not thinking about the 16-game winning streak. It's just because they're thinking about the next game.
Yeah.
And Coach Mark said it, and a lot of people think that this might be kind of cliche and like, all right, sure, it's coach speak, but that's just been something that has been instilled in this team over the last 4 or 5 years, the 0-0 mentality, because like Coach Mark said, when that scoreboard turns on Saturday in Las Vegas, the score is going to say 0-0.
That's right.
And so if you don't bring your best stuff against another team, then you may pay for that. And so when the team takes that type of mentality into every single competition they play, on top of trying to get better every single game that they play, that developmental mindset, it really kind of blends together this secret sauce of what you see from the Thunder so often.
Yeah, you got to go out and earn it every single night. And the Thunder, well, they came out and they earned it in this matchup against the Phoenix Suns here tonight. 5-0 in NBA Cup action so far this season. All right, stick with us when we come back. We're breaking down Chet Holmgren's game. Had an efficient night here against the Suns. We had here inside of Paycom Center, the Thunder takes down the Suns 138-89. And after the game, our very own Nick Gallo caught up with J-Dub.
Dub, that flurry to end the second quarter seems so electric. What are those moments like when it just seems like everyone is in rhythm together?
It's very fun. We've had, excuse my rook. We've had a lot of moments like that this year. It's something that we try and push towards every game and to see how long we can extend that flow. And it's very fun to be a part of.
You also seem to have maintained such great confidence and connection, concentration, all of those things. How do you do that when a game is as lopsided as it is like tonight?
Well, that's a lot of respect to the guys that do high and have to kind of like wait for us, but it's a lot of respect to them for staying ready. And I think just our professionalism as a team is what's really important, to be able to come in and do what these guys do on a consistent basis and hold themselves to a higher standard when they're playing up however many points is special, and we don't take that for granted.
You clearly have gotten yourself into a rhythm, but you're still doing a lot of playmaking too, at least 5 assists in every game since you've been back. What's been working for you in terms of just creating for others?
Just trusting my teammates, to be honest. A lot of it too is like me and Chet have been in a lot of 2-man games, so we've been trying to work that more and more. He's having a great year, so I'm trying to feed him more and more and kind of get that down for him. We're going to need it down the stretch. And just as a team too, like the more we can share the ball and get comfortable with each other, the less of an adjustment we have down the road. So my game is going to do what it's going to do throughout it. But the more I can get my teammates involved, we'll be a more complete team.
You just set a Thunder record for your 16th straight victory as a team. Punch a ticket to Las Vegas. What are these moments like for you guys right now when you're in the middle of just trying to build?
Well, the money is fun. I'm not going to lie. Also, Vegas is like a good thing for us. You know, it gives us kind of like a playoff feel. And we get to kind of like hone in on our skills and see how well we can focus while we're out there. So we take it as a challenge, but it's fun. We don't take these moments and with these wins for granted. You know, there was a time where we weren't winning, so I wasn't here for it, but but we don't take those for granted for sure.
Yeah, couldn't have been you. Thanks. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it, Nick.
Hey, hold up. Shout out AT&T, baby. That got my ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got a phone for it? You got a phone for it?
Sir.
Just a couple of superstars out there, J-Dub, and of course our very own Nick Gallo, professional as ever. And this gives us a good opportunity to talk about J-Dub and the night that he had tonight. Obviously, he's had to work his way back into the lineup for Oklahoma City, but he's done so in such a great way that he's not forcing anything. He's out there just fully integrated with this group, and we're starting to see that offense start to build its way back, but he can always give it defensively.
Yeah, you know, that was a great stat by Gallo right there. I didn't realize that 5 assists in every game that he's been back, and such a tone setter. And that's what we saw against the Utah Jazz in that great first quarter that the Thunder had, where the ball was moving all over the place and different players were hitting threes, 11 threes in that first quarter. Dub was right at the forefront of that. And I love the way that he has just approached coming back, because I think it just shows his maturity as a player and his self-assurance. Because so many guys, I mean, again, we've talked about this, Paris, like you make All-NBA, you've been an All-Star, and you feel like you're one of the kind of guys in the NBA. You just won an NBA title. You dropped 40 in the finals, and you want to remind people you've had to sit here and watch your team get off this great start. You want to say like, hey, don't forget about Dub over here. And it's like, no, he just came in and he's just playing his game. And I think that shows just an incredible level of maturity and self-confidence and self-assurance in the player that J-Dub is.
Always an all-around team guy, and it shows in his play out here on the court for Oklahoma City. Well, now it's time to look forward, because here's an updated bracket for the knockout round in the Emirates NBA Cup. The Thunder obviously has advanced to the semifinals, and we are currently awaiting to see who wins between the Lakers and the Spurs. That game is currently underway right now, and the Thunder will play the winner of that game out in Las Vegas. And Oklahoma City, up to this point, has played the Lakers once, has not played the San Antonio Spurs. So this sets up a little bit of an interesting dynamic for these two teams. Let's talk about the first meeting that the Thunder had against the LA Lakers. They got this win. It was on November 12th. Inside of Paycom Center.
Of course, no LeBron in that one, but Austin Reeves, who had been playing great, had just come back from injury. Luka Doncic obviously was on an absolute heater coming in to that game. And the Thunder just did an incredible job of really eliminating Doncic and Reeves, turned the Lakers over like crazy, made Doncic and Reeves play in a crowd throughout the entire game. Really never let either player get in any kind of rhythm. Really kind of played the type of Thunder game that we see a lot, Paris, which is Oklahoma City starts to kind of put your head underwater, and then they just keep pushing you farther and farther under the surface. They just won't ever let you come up and get in the air.
Yeah, take a look at some of these numbers. The Los Angeles Lakers currently second in the West, right behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have the 6th best offensive rating, and they have the highest field goal percentage. So it could be a really interesting matchup against that team in a very unique environment in Las Vegas. The other opponent that the Thunder could face is the San Antonio Spurs, a team the Thunder hasn't seen so far this season. But, of course, they have a lot of young talent that's playing really well this year.
Yeah, and if it does end up being in the Spurs, the Thunder are going to get very familiar with them very fast because the Thunder are going to play them 3 times basically in 2 weeks.
That's right.
This young San Antonio team has been very impressive early this year. And it's not just about Victor Wembanyama, because as you can see there, he's been out since November 16th. They're still 8-3 without them. And they've got a good blend of some veteran players. Harrison Barnes has played really well for them, but they got De'Aaron Fox back, and he is a dynamic, lightning-fast player. They've got young players like Stephon Castle, who's been really, really good.
Yeah.
Devin Vassell's played great for them. So that's a young team with a lot of dynamic players on it.
Royce, I'm interested in your thoughts. The Thunder obviously heading out to Las Vegas for the 2nd straight season. What sort of environment, Dub kind of hinted at it, that it's kind of good for this team to be in that atmosphere. What kind of takeaways can a group get from that?
I think Dub, I think, really hit the nail on the head there, Paris. And look, we can never really extrapolate all the reasons why the Thunder had a successful season last year, but I think that we can piece together a lot of different things as the team talks about. They stack things up.
Yeah.
And I think that experience in Vegas last year was very important for them, because there's a lot of noise, a lot of distraction. You're playing in kind of a new gym, new environment that you're not used to. It's kind of got this all-star type of vibe with the media attention and everything that goes around it. So it's about, can you focus? Can you lock in? Can you block some of that stuff out? And then also just compete at a very high level. And so, the team, I think, really embraced that last year. Didn't get it done in terms of winning the cup, but I think that they'll take that same sort of beginner's mindset, developmental approach as they go into it this year.
Yeah, one thing we learned about the Thunder is just they love growing through varying experiences, and this is one of those experiences that is just kind of rare, kind of weird, and you get a chance to learn from it and grow from it as a team. Going to be a great opportunity for Oklahoma City out in Las Vegas in the semifinals. And that game, whether they play against the Lakers or the Spurs, we do know it'll be on Saturday at 8 p.m. and you can catch that game on Amazon Prime out in Las Vegas. Should be a good one. The Emirates NBA Cup semifinals for the 2nd straight year. Oklahoma City, a perfect 5-0 in Emirates NBA Cup action after taking down the Phoenix Suns in historic fashion to the tune of a 49-point victory. That wraps us up here inside of Paycom Center. What a win. Thanks so much for staying up with us. Until next time, have a great night.